Warning, this episode contains strong language throughout and some moments that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. A Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES. Yeah, cartridge is a mess. You know, there were like phone numbers and stuff written on it that I didn't want to broadcast to the world. You know, and I tried scrubbing it off with alcohol. And I tried a few times. I scrubbed as hard as I could. It wasn't coming off. You know, so I had to... It was the cheapest one I could find. But hey, at least the label is in nice condition after all these decades, and we can play it. Tell you, after owning and playing Friday the 13th all my childhood, ending up with it in my possession, you know, it wasn't until I was a teen and really getting into online video and, might I share on the side, really getting into the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies, getting obsessed with them, I saw web videos of Freddy's game. I never exactly knew until then how his world looked in a regular Nintendo game, as we'd call it. And now, we get to experience this game just how it was originally meant to be. Well, that title screen looks legit enough, and the music sounds evil enough. This is actually kind of freaky. And it would be for little kids. We start out running up and down Elm Street and just listen. I'd say that this game actually has some pretty nice tunes. I can see myself putting this stuff on my iPod. Now, with this street theme, isn't that the perfect sneaking out of the house at night, running around theme? As you may never presume, you gotta first see which of these houses will randomly let you go inside. Is it really random? Because that would be a poor way to lay out the end game. Does this house count? The one that's run down? Well, it's time that we refer to the ancient inscription. Yes. The ancient inscription. Here we go. Nightmare on Elm Street. It is printed. The game. When the teenagers in the Elm Street neighborhood, on Elm Street, or in this little neighborhood in Springwood, Ohio, hey, that's right, it all took place in Ohio. When the teenagers in the Elm Street neighborhood start dying mysteriously, you know Mr. Krueger won't be far behind. Yeah, that's something kids read and play a game about. If anyone can stop Freddy, you can. Maybe after a billion tries, or if you know exactly what the fuck you're doing, or if you have Game Genie. In Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah, not A Nightmare on Elm Street, no big deal really. You must gather his scattered bones and burn them. The minute you doze, he'll be hounding your heels in your own nightmares. Okay, here's the thing about the houses. Some of the houses are locked up for the night, although you may be able to find a key. Yeah, more like you will find a key inside the house after you play through the whole level. That is, the house. Just keep trying the buildings until you find a door that opens. Nope, that's completely misleading. Okay, here's how it actually works. You first have to explore through all the first 3 houses. The 3 ordinary houses, not including the rundown one. And it is completely random which ones of those you can go inside and go through in what order whenever you start up the game. It doesn't matter which ones have the door opened or closed. You go inside the building or area that'll allow you to by pressing up on the D-pad. You'll always see and hear the certain house interiors and music in the same order. I don't know, I don't get it either. Now the caption in this book, you may say, oh, it's not wrong or misleading, that's what you do. You try them until one opens, meaning lets you go inside. Not that the door has to be open. No, you should have been more clear on that. I swear, one time I played, I ran up and down the whole street twice and tried every building and area entrance with none of them letting me in. Giving all the time for my sleep meter to go down, making my character go to sleep and into the dream world, and for Freddy to be able to attack me twice. I guess that time the game randomly decided, nah, you're just not going into any house, deal with it. One outrageous glitch. Talk about a poorly developed game, really, in that aspect. Well, let's try to look past those little specks of half-assed horseshit. I strongly suggest you use a Game Genie with this game. That's when I'll say that this game can be fun. It would be a fun party game. It'll allow up to 4 players to play at once if you have the accessory known as the NES 4-score. There's also one called the NES Satellite, but I don't have any experience with that one. The 4-score has extra few feet of cord on it, so it's nice to have, also to use as an extension even when you're not playing multiplayer, including on other games. I mean, I'd say the cord on the NES controller has a fair amount of length to it, but I just figured I'd share. If you have the NES 4-score and use it, it's not like you have to unplug it and go put it up when you're done playing a 3 or 4 player game. You can just keep it plugged into your Nintendo forever. Save the hassle. You know something that's actually weird? Look at these screenshots in this guidebook. That scoreboard where it shows your health and stuff appears at the bottom of the screen as it does in this game's actual manual. But look, in the game here, the scoreboard shows at the top. Well, maybe they were using a prototype version they obtained before release, so they'd have as much time as possible to get screenshots and type all the text they need? Who knows? Let's just get back to some thrilling nightmare gaming, shall we? Go sneak inside the house. Or who knows, it could be the main character's house. By the way, I do not condone actually sneaking into houses. But hey, this is the virtual video game world, so let's go have some fun. Now, you need to watch out for these bees or hornets or whatever you want to call them, because you won't believe the swells you'll get. That's right, you won't believe the swells you'll get if these insects sting you. So yeah, the mission of the whole game is to collect all of Freddy's bones spread throughout the whole street of Elm and destroy them by burning them in order to put an end to Freddy's dream-crushing spree. Once you enter a house or whatever area, you can't leave until you've gotten all the bones and beaten whatever obnoxious form of Freddy. And if it's a building with multiple rooms, you can't go to the next room until you've gotten all the bones in the one through which you're currently journeying. At least the scoreboard actually tells you how many bones there are left to get. Once you do get all the bones, you'll hear a sweet confirmation sound. Yeah, that's the sound of progress. After the first 3 houses, there's also a junkyard, a cemetery, that run-down house, which by the way I've heard around is Freddy's house, and a high school building. When you pause the game, you get the word hold, which is pretty unusual, really. Makes sense though, okay, you're putting the game on hold. Also, with the music on the pause or hold screen, you hear just the bass and percussion tracks of the theme of whatever area or room you're in. Alright, what else is there to know here? What, is that it? Just those 2 pages? No, there's more. 3 more pages actually. Are you kidding me? The book went to commercial. Have you seen any other game guide do that, besides obviously ones from this company? Well, I haven't. But then again, I myself haven't read a whole lot of guides or magazines in the past few years of my life, so. But what if you were reading a novel and they were trying to advertise something right in the middle of the story? What if you were watching video that wasn't being broadcasted on like live TV and they were advertising something right in the middle of it? How obnoxious can you make it? Once you've collected all 3 Dream Warrior icons, you'll have to decide which one works best in a particular situation. By the way, be sure to also watch Reproduction Ideas and listen to Watson's Warehouse Music, all on your favorite YouTube channel now, sorted in each of their own playlists, as you'll see when you click on the Playlists tab. Be sure to subscribe to Might I Share channel, as there's more to come. Oh, and these days, let's not forget, you can also like on Facebook and follow on Twitter. Links to be able to do so you will also find on the channel. Might I share it with you? Anyway, you gotta grab these Dream Warrior icons when you're awake. Then, when your sleep meter goes down and you go to sleep and into the dream realm, you can change into the form that the icon represents by pressing select, and use the projectile that it gives you with B. And if you've got more than one, then you toggle through them with select to choose the one you want. If you're playing multiplayer, you will all go to sleep if just one of you has your sleep meter go down, which if you all have grabbed the warrior icon, you may rather happen. Just the dream world is where Freddy will every once in a while decide to come out of nowhere and fight you, trapping you in a certain screen where his hands come out of the floor to get you while he does so. You will hear the 1-2 Freddy's coming for you melody when this is about to happen. Freddy's! Trademark coming. Okay, I had to get that out of my system. Supposedly, there's a pattern in which Freddy jumps around and swings that you can try to work around. Just watch out for the hands coming out of the floor. The gauge that tells how many bones are left in a level is now Freddy's health gauge. Same happens on boss fights. Again, regardless of how many people are playing, you know what else the 4-score has that makes it useful? Turbo options for the A and B buttons. If you have the turbo button for B switched on, you can hold down B to continuously shoot your projectile. And when you're the Shadow Warrior, you can have the turbo on for A and hold it down to go on a constant ricochet with that deadly kick that can do damage alone. Look, Freddy, I can bounce around like a dickhead too. Huh? Eat it. The Shadow Warrior has the kick along with their projectile. Enemies change to a different form in the dream world. So do spikes, like the ones you see on the way to the junkyard. They turn to Big Freddy hands. And it appears that dripping water turns to blood that hurts you. Yeah, a fun Nintendo game for all ages. Makes me guess that Nintendo or whoever didn't take the time to test this all the way through, which I can infer about a lot of NES games from that time. Otherwise, they would have made them change it or just not release this game. They were completely alright with busted ass software though, and tried to stop Game Genie from being available. Fucking really? When it's the Awake world and the silver water drips, it'll still hurt you if you touch it. Okay. I don't know, maybe it's unicorn blood. If you want to stay awake, you grab coffee cups. In the dream world, the coffee cups turn to radios. You touch the radio, it'll blast a tune and wake you up. If you want. Remember, you can't use your Dream Warrior ability when you're awake. If you want to stay in the dream world, don't touch the radios. The guide says, if however you're stumped as to which one to use, always go with the Shadow Warrior, especially when battling Freddy. Are you kidding me? I want to be the Wizard Master. I am the Wizard Master! In the name of Miyamoto, Itoi, Masahiro Sakurai, Gabe Newell, Frederick Raynell, and more, Demon be gone!
Sorry, kid. I don't believe in fairy tales.
Well, looks like I could use some help. Dream power. Okay. Shambo! Tyler!
Oh, what a nightmare.
Jenkins!
Whoa! What is that? What is it?
Whoa! Oh! Oh! Ouch! Where the hell am I?
Guys! Anthony? We're in trouble here. Freddy's on the loose.
Freddy?
Yes! Look, pick up your controller and turn on your TV.
What? What? My room? What? The remote?
I know it sounds crazy, but just do it.
I think it's laying in this chair being pulled into something here. All right. Fine.
What the hell?
Well, which with the bread flakes?
All right. You're all in my game.
You know, there's something I don't understand. How is this happening? I mean, it's not like I have this game.
And the internet wouldn't do something like this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
'Cause it's our dream. We can change it if we like. Our dream. We can make it turn out right. Our dream. Now we know just what to do. Cause it's something else. Our dream. We can change it if we like. Our dream. We can make it turn out right. Our dream.
God, stop it!
What's with the bread flakes?
Even back in the day, I never understood why people just accepted and went with that obnoxious fucking singing out of nowhere in the middle of a picture. God, it's the only thing worse than a commercial in the middle of it.
Well, I'll agree with that for when it came to a good lot of those later Disney movies and like the Grinch movie and shit. But hey, I mean, come on, for the way I do it
Yeah,
here.
okay, that's nice, whatever.
But interrupting me! You know, why should we be afraid of you after Nightmare 4, 5, 6, and 7? What are you gonna do? One of those stupid-ass rubbery-looking body-stretching effects with those cartoon sound effects? That's something obnoxious I never understood in your later fucking pictures. I mean, come on. Get real. You're not even scary anymore. You're not even scary. Okay. Fuck off. Please.
Here's why you can be afraid of me, because I can make you all start the game all the way back from the beginning. Now, if you even want a chance to beat me at my own game, and I use the word chance very loosely, you gotta collect every one of my bones again, in every room of every building and in every area. Then once you get to my boiler room, I'll give you one last chance for a fight. Have fun, bitches! Welcome to my world.
Great job, Anthony. Running your mouth and all.
Well, come on. You gotta set people straight when they're being dickheads.
Not when it's the deranged killer and there's no authority around.
You whippersnappers letting your guns never giving us old folks a moment of peace.
Well, okay. But if he wants to go about shit like this in response, fine. Let's make like Kirby and go kick the motherfucker's ass all over Dreamland.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah, and you know, in these dark times, why don't we have some fun, huh? I mean, it's classic Nintendo action, and on top of that, with 4 players.
Alrighty then. Yes.
With 4 player characters running around on the screen at each their own pace, the speed at which the camera moves when playing actually varies quite a bit more, which we should expect, but it's like a little change of view when you actually see it. It's a little hard to explain, but maybe you'll see what I mean as you see it here.
Brofist.
The screen does slow down when it has to wait for everybody to get moving in one direction so that it can move. If just one of you stays put or gets stuck, none of you are going anywhere.
How do you make that little dwarf move?
It seems that if the Freddy's Coming For You tune starts to play, which is the precursor of Freddy randomly fighting you, and if there's a lot of stuff going on the screen at once, such as 4 player characters jumping around, dealing with enemies, and dying, making the game have to wait for them to recover, it really slows down the game. Look how long it ends up taking here after the tune ends for Freddy to actually come out. But nothing seems to stop or delay the game taking you into the dream world. It seems that when there are too many moving things on the screen on an NES game, not only does it slow the graphics down like retro gamers are practically all familiar with, but it can also cause a glitch where some of the things can rapidly flicker or partially disappear, and sometimes even completely disappear, like right here. I even recall thinking, hey, where'd my guy go? Now don't grieve and fight over Dream Warrior icons, because there are plenty of them throughout the game. My suggestion, if you've already got one, let one of the others who doesn't have one have the next one you see. You may not all get the same one, you may not all get more than one, and you may not get one you might have in mind. Don't make a big deal out of it. See? Look here, guys and gals. I didn't get more than one, but at least I got something, and something good. There are some little things in life you get that you should just be satisfied with, or with which you should be satisfied. Sorry, you shouldn't end a sentence with a preposition. Whatever. A good thing about the Wizard Master, who the manual actually calls the Necromancer, is that they can glide, and I've been able to reach some bones as the Necromancer that the other warriors can't seem to. And the ninja-like Shadow Warrior can actually really whoop some ass. Again, not only do they have a projectile, but whenever you jump as them, they kick. So you can literally just jump around as them, constantly kicking enemies out of your way. It doesn't always work though. The whole perimeter of you as the Shadow Warrior can still take damage. That which can actually knock you right out of your kick position in the air. If an enemy touches you anywhere other than your foot as a Shadow Warrior in kick mode, this will happen. If your timing is right, you could just breeze through enemies as the Shadow Warrior.
For this shit.
My God, are we ever gonna be done with this? What, did they expect us to spend like 5 nights here?
How many times have you died by now? Plenty, right? I know how many lives my game allows for each player. If my calculations are correct, you all have only got 1 or 2 lives left. And there's been a nice amount of trouble in this whole thing that has grated on you like shit. You're all wore the fuck out. It should be a snap, picking you all up, one by one. And then I'll get back to being on my way back to the rest of the children of not just Elm Street, but the world. This doesn't make sense. You should be finished by now. Why do you keep coming back?
It's a little piece of magic called Game Genie, and a spell known as the Infinite Lives Code.
Well, Portia, cheer up on me and call me Aunt Jemima.
Wait, what? Do you have the adapter for the top loader?
It's actually a combination of them. I'll explain another time.
You're cheating! You fucking pantywags!
Cheat device. No. A device that enhances your games. The way it should be put in this case. When you, LJN, and fucking Nintendo fill your part of the market up with such busted fucking games, what do you expect people to do when they get fucking sick of it? I'm in control. I do what I choose to do with the games that I spent my hard-earned money on. So fucking shove it! Welcome to my world, bitch! What, Francine? Getting your ass beat? Unfair, right? How do you like it, you fucking cunt? You made me do this! You did it to your fucking self!
Holy shit, dude. Are you alright?
Now you're taking it all right back on the fucking ass!
Dude, chill out.
Chill out.
Predators, Sonny.
He's dead, okay?
Freddy's dead.
You saved the world. Does that make you feel better?
Well, it's been a little bit cathartic. Thanks for the help, guys.
Mission accomplished. Now we can go home and relax.
And relax.
Yep, back to dealing with our own shit on our own time. Nighty.
Good night.
Night. See you later, Bran Flakes.
So, the evil is purged, fire purifies all, the bones are ashes, soon to be dust, Freddy fucking trademark is dead, and the nightmare is ended. Has ended, or is over. I don't know, whatever. Or has it. See, it even knows that's the word to use. Again, whatever. Well, it's better than other games, you know. At least, I don't know, the text is red instead of plain black and white fucking text, you know. Black screen, white fucking text, whatever. Or has it ended? Yes, it has, because I'm turning it off. Kinda burned out from this nightmare. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on vid.me, be sure to punch that follow button, and if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to punch subscribe and that bell you see when you hit subscribe on my channel to be notified when I get more stuff up, and you can like and follow Might I Share on Facebook and Twitter. You can download all my content on VidMe, meaning, yes, you can download my full videos for absolutely free. On my VidMe channel, you'll find all my different kinds of stuff neatly sorted under the albums section, and on my YouTube channel under the old playlist section. You can find my own written music of my band project Watson's Warehouse on my YouTube and VidMe channel, as well as download it on VidMe, on Bandcamp, and on SoundCloud, all for free. Feel free to use any of Watson's music in any of your projects. Just I would totally appreciate it if you'd cite me, Anthony of the Might I Share channel, and or Watson's Warehouse as the artist. You can follow Watson's Warehouse on Facebook, Bandcamp, and SoundCloud, and feel free to tweet anything Watson to the Might I Share Twitter page. Stay tuned for more episodes of Might I Game and more Watson's Warehouse music.